down here on the Wilson River, and in my kind of old stomping grounds, not really, supposed to still be my stomping grounds. Guide shop would have been right behind me, and you know, we've got the North Fork right over here, and which is a great spawning trib. I hope there's some fish up there right now, and then of course the Happy Hollow House, which has been under construction forever. Is right behind me, but right now these banks should be loaded with people on November 3rd. There should be a ton of people here, and people getting into the sport for the first time and hanging out and learning to bobber fish and maybe catching a fish or two as they come up over this tail out. And we've got nothing, you know, nobody here. All the turnouts were bare coming down, and of course they are coast wide. And you know, these are bank guys and drift boat guys that be normally in here in November, and you know, we've decided it's not a good run. I would agree, but of course it's the guy at the end of the line that gets stuck, you know, that gets screwed in the whole thing. And yet we're still fishing the bay, and you know, it's kind of one of those things. I guess that's just how it works, you know. If you're first in line, you know, you kind of get the opportunities. Whether if you're up in Alaska and you're commercial operator up there or sport operator up there, you get to pick on all these fish, and as things don't come in as they were supposed to, you know, they make decisions. So, you know, maybe one of these days they'll start making decisions way ahead of this, because they knew these ocean conditions were out there 3 years ago, and you saw it in the papers. You heard people talking about it, and yet they didn't modify catch rates 3 years ago on these fish that are now returning today, 3 and 4 years ago. So, you know, and we're going to still aggressively fish for them now. I mean, we're catching next year's run year right now. We're catching 2 years from now run year right now up in Alaska. So, you know, the ODFW and NOAA does not have a good track record, and here's further evidence. And the last, you know, 15, 20 years has been further evidence that these guys are fail in decision making, and really their plan, and their plan A, B, and C is good ocean conditions. But what about as ocean conditions aren't good? And what are we doing to make sure that we've got enough spawners, you know, in places like the North Fork, on the Wilson, Trask, all our rivers on the North Coast, but also providing opportunity for folks that, you know, don't have a commercial fishing boat or don't have a $60,000 sled. You know, there needs to be more left over for the people at the end of the line, and of course the tribes have been saying that for years. But yeah, we're going to talk about this here for the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes. No, I'm not. 5 months during the winter, and you know, hey, I'm not out here to make friends with the ODFW or NOAA or anybody for that part who has an agenda other than, you know, to have sustainable, awesome fisheries. So right now that's not where we're headed, and I'm all about sustainable, awesome, abundant fisheries. And if they don't have the right people in there, they need to get the right people in there, because this is entirely self-inflicted at this point. So anyway, I love you guys, and we'll be talking more about this soon.